Coach, you there?
I am here, Brad. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Hoping you're having a great Saturday.
It's going well.
Well, awesome.
You must have a couple of thousand on there for sure.
There's a couple thousand. There are thousands of people on this call. You guys, hey, how you doing? Brad Alkazin. I want to welcome you onto this special Saturday leader call, a training call really designed for you if you're on this call tonight. Welcome. Thanks for taking the time. I know everybody's busy. There's a lot going on, but you're on this call tonight for a reason. You're going to hear some great things. I hope you take some notes. Obviously, many of you guys are maybe, growing the business, having great success. Maybe you're basically at a point where you want to grow faster or you're stuck and you need to get unstuck. As you all know, we just got off the convention 2014 All In over in Vegas. Was unreal. Really, I'm still at a loss of words. I watched the recap video. Shout out to YPR All Access and really just reflecting on that weekend was definitely the best weekend of my life. And, obviously, shout out to everybody on this call for being a part of that. And obviously to the individual you're going to hear from in a minute, on really, the best event we've ever had. And I can't tell you how excited I am. My belief level, my conviction has never been like this before. Obviously, we've been at this, you guys, we've started this, and it's now time to really raise the bar, really to, raise the bar to a point we've never been. Obviously, guys, to go up, you got to give up. And so I challenge you on this call to really be thinking about, what kind of time per week, what are you putting into the business? Number one, and is it enough time? And number two, is it effective? Because we're going to talk in a couple of minutes on really, a leader topic here that really, if you really pay attention to and you really analyze your business, kind of from a third-party point of view, you can realize very quickly if your business is going in the right direction. And so, you guys, I'm blown away from convention. I'm obviously gearing up for the biggest push. My goal, I've raised the bar to be January 1 to be at Legend, and it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of things that we're going to have to start working together on, on a weekly basis. So I encourage you to stay plugged in, stay focused, and excited, and really focus in on what we're going to talk about here for the next few minutes. So with that, you guys, obviously, as you all know, this individual, changed my life. He was, that kind to take a breakfast with me one morning and really just changed my paradigm. And we're going to have some pretty cool things coming out here pretty quick you want to definitely pay attention to. But this individual really, changed the course of my life, the direction of my life, and somebody that I look up to. And he really talked at convention about a great topic called retention, and something that all of us know and want to, definitely improve on it no matter what level you're at in that subject or area. Obviously, this company has a great retention, beyond on the fact that we have an amazing product and a great set of leadership, really, pointing and moving this company along. But the point is, if you can really improve on some of these things, it's really going to make a huge difference in your business. And so, I'm here today. I want to really, introduce you guys to my coach and mentor. He's definitely, many know the master of paradigms. He knows, the law of attraction better than anybody before that I've met. And obviously, when he talks about, building a team, which I'll, kind of wrap up with after, Bob Proctor will change the way you think. So, Coach, if you're out there, thanks for being on here. Definitely excited to share some thoughts on this subject, and really still, going over my notes, you made some great points on building a business, a long-lasting, stable business. You got to focus on this subject. So if you're out there, thanks for coming on.
Hey, Brad, it's a pleasure to be here. And I've got to congratulate you. For a young guy, what you have done, you have set the pace for an awful lot of people. And you're an excellent example of what this business offers a person. I was talking about retention, and I was talking about it because I've been around the sales business my entire adult life. For over 50 years, I have worked around salespeople all over the world, literally millions of salespeople. And there's one major problem in every selling organization, and that's it, retention. BK said it was the holy grail of business because it can make or break you. And I don't care if you're a new person, you're only, at the business for 2-3 months, or whether you're like Brad or Tom Alkazin. You've got to watch this. When you focus on retention, now I pointed this out at the convention, when you focus on retention, your business grows faster, your cycles will be multiplied, and you stop wasting time and money. Plus, you develop strong leaders. This is such a beautiful concept. And even more, retention eliminates attrition. You watch people, I watch different individuals in VEMA go out and they really give it everything they've got. And they bring people into the business, and they're bringing them in the front door, but they're moving out the back door. And there's no need of that. It's very costly. It costs you 6 to 7 times as much to get a new person as it does to keep someone you've already got. Now, I pointed out that people will say, well, where does retention begin? And retention begins the very first meeting you have with someone. That's really where it starts. And you've got to fix the idea in your mind. If you fix the idea of retention in your mind, when you talk to a brand new person, you're going to have maybe the same story, but you're going to deliver it with a different attitude. In other words, when you bring a person into the business, you want to bring them in with the promise that they don't have to go anywhere else. Now, ask yourself what people are looking for. They want to transfer their dreams into reality, their goals into achievement, and they want to change their thinking into results. They want to get results. Well, I have jotted down some notes, and I've thought about this time and time again. I've watched this company grow right from the first. In fact, I spoke at the very first meeting the company had. And you can sit down with a person and tell them, if they want to turn their dreams into reality, they're in the right place. If you want something more out of life, but you're not sure what it is, or if you've tried to change in the past and not been too successful, if you have a specific goal but don't know how to achieve it, you have incredible news for a person. You can show them how to get anything that they seriously want. You see, the realization of a goal is not a complicated process. In fact, it's a simple matter of cause and effect, and as straightforward, consistent, and reliable as 2 plus 2 equals 4. This is not difficult. See, the problem with most of us, we approach goals in entirely the wrong direction. And when you sit down with a person, you want to let them know that you're working with some high-powered people, and you're getting phenomenal direction. You're getting direction from young people that are earning well in excess of $1 million a year and moving very rapidly towards earning $1 million in a month. Now, this is sheer fantasy to most people, but it's not fantasy to the individual that comes into VEMA and makes up their mind, this is where I'm going to stay. I'm going to make it happen here. Now, if you haven't made that decision, I'd suggest you make it right now. And then you've got to lock yourself into certain principles, and you've got to stay with it. You see, we've got to focus on changing everything in our life. The law of cause and effect, Emerson said, was the law of laws. If you want to make a change in your life, you've got to go deeper. Most people are playing around on the surface. If you want different results, you need to ignite change at the level where results are created in the first place. You've got to help them change their mind. Now, do you know there's phenomenal information in VEMA for anybody wanting to do that? And when a person does decide to do that, everything starts to happen. When you do that, achieving the goal becomes not merely possible or probable, it becomes inevitable. Now, you can go out and speak with absolute confidence that you can show people how to get to where they want to go. It's not difficult. As a matter of fact, it's a rather simple concept, but we've got to make up our mind we're going to make it happen. Brad mentioned paradigms, and you and I operate with paradigms. We're literally programmed to live the way we're living. That's why most people get the same results year after year after year. You can go back to school, you can gather more information, come out, you're going to get the same results. You see, we gather information in our conscious mind, but it's not our conscious mind that's controlling our behavior. It's our subconscious mind. Now, if you take a look at the pattern in your life up to this point, that comes from what we call an automatic pilot. It's like cruise control in our consciousness. It's sunk deep in the subconscious mind, and we can change that. I remember, I go way back many years, I changed it. Man, I was losing. I was going in the wrong direction, and I was picking up speed. I was in the passing lane. And a guy gave me Think and Grow Rich. But he not only gave me Think and Grow Rich, he gave me encouragement. You know, he really convinced me that there was an awful lot more out there than I was getting. He convinced me that I was a whole lot more than what met the eye or what I saw reflecting back from a mirror. Now, I was losing. I was broke. I earned more money than I owed more money than I was earning in a year or 2 years. I mean, I didn't really have any hope. And yet, almost overnight, my life took off like a rocket. Now, I'm going back probably before most of you were born. But my income went from $4,000 to $175,000 a year. If you want to translate that in today's dollars, multiply it by 7.8. I mean, it was a bucket of money. And in relatively no time, I was up over $1 million. And I was trying to figure out what the heck happened. And I started to study it, and I've never stopped studying it. And you know, I found out that you and I are really programmed to live the way we're living. Now, if you grasp this, and if you start to understand it, you can sit down with anyone and show them how to alter the course of their life. If you're sick and tired of getting the same results month in, month out, stop and take a look at the pattern that you're following. Because when you get out of bed, there's a pattern, and you follow that pattern. You've got to stop it. You're going to ask yourself, what do I really want out of life? And you take a look at the results, and then what do I have to change to get it? Now, oddly enough, it becomes pretty shocking. You have to change very little to accomplish a whole lot. You don't have to change much. And then as you understand this, you want to start sharing this with everybody you come in contact with. I mean, you've got a contract here that you can offer people that will help them write a ticket for anything they want in life. When you take a look at what some of the young guys around Beam are doing, the cars they're driving, the incomes they're earning, it's almost like I have difficult believing that. But it's there, and they're doing it. And the beautiful truth is you can do it. Now, if you will make up your mind that you're going to create a new pattern, Buckminster Fuller, that designed the geodesic dome, he put it very well. He said, you don't change things by fighting existing reality. To change things, you build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. Now, I just heard Brad say he wanted to be legend. I think there's $1 million bonus with that. Forget the millions that you would be earning. But here this guy's got his sight set on the top spot. And he says he's going to do it by January 1. Now, I can advise Brad on one thing. He's going to have a new model. But he said that. He said he was regrouping. He was doing some calls today. And he was revamping what he was doing. Well, if you sit down and take a look, really objectively look at the results you're getting. Now, here's a beautiful truth that a lot of people really don't understand. You and I are the only creature on the planet, so far as we know, that can get outside of ourselves and look back at ourselves like a stranger might. And what I want to suggest is get outside of yourself and look at yourself and look at the pattern that you're following.